the wonderful Dr. Rupa Shah. And here she is. I'm going to just pipe her in. Great. क्या बात है? So you're okay? You're comfortable? You can see me, hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So great. So
Yes.
welcome to our edition of An Hour with Ash. So great to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having me. Let me just adjust my camera.
yes. I'm also in a new setting today. I'm in my office after a long time. And yeah, but it has been a pleasure to get to know you over the past few years and the lovely initiatives that you have, your drive towards the mission that you're after. And I really want to let the audience know, please meet Dr. Rupa Shah. She's a lady with several talents, and we're going to learn a lot about holistic living and integrated living in a very particular way from her today. So I would like to go back a little bit and want to learn that where did all this start out for you from? I mean, you started out as a doctor, right? Yeah.
That's right. I wanted to become a doctor. When I just passed my 12th standard, luckily I got my admission in medical college. And so my dreams, came true that I became a doctor. But while I was learning to be a doctor, I also got very interested in spirituality and meditation part of it. And I spent a lot of time learning from a spiritual master all about meditation. And during that time, he, also exposed us doctors to various other aspects of healing. And he inspired us that allopathic is not the only way. There are also other things that you need to learn. And so my journey started about, looking at various alternative therapies. So while I just finished my MBBS, I also started learning about homeopathy, acupuncture, acupressure, mind body healing, and flower remedies, and magnetotherapy, and Reiki healing, and all this I was exposed very early. So during my internship itself, I started learning homeopathy. And then after that, there was no looking back. I understood the difference between Western approach and the holistic approach. Holistic is more about taking into consideration the mind, emotions, and body always together. You do not treat a organ, or you do not treat a disease. You always treat a human being as a total person. And the whole package is obviously it's the mind, emotions, body. One would also like to include the spiritual aspects of it. So this is what is called as total holistic healing. And then my path changed after that. Initially I started practicing as a homeopathic doctor, though I had allopathic degree.
Okay.
But after some time, I learned a lot more about flower remedies. So the original flower remedies came from England. That was Dr. Edward Bach. Incidentally, Dr. Edward Bach also had a similar journey like how I had, like
Okay.
an allopathic doctor, and then he became a homeopath, and later in his life, he started learning and practicing about flower remedies. And my journey also was quite similar. And along the way, I met my husband, who is also a radiologist,
क्या
and
बात है?
both of us together started practicing, flower remedies, and we started making remedies from Indian flowers. This is the first time in the world to look for the healing potential of Indian flowers. And so it was like almost 37 years ago I started. And over the years, we have researched many different flower remedies. We've been exporting it. We teach all other doctors about how to treat through flower remedies, and how mind and emotions are always treated whenever you treat a disease. It's not just the body.
क्या बात है?
And then somewhere along the way, about 13 years ago, I also learned a lot more about plant-based diet. And that's when my journey started. That was, I think, the missing point for a while, because for 25 years I saw that none of my diabetes patients were getting better 100%. They would be improving, but not never reversing it completely. But
Okay.
once I learned about the plant-based diet and I saw, oh my goodness, this was the missing link. The diet is the foundation, is the step number one for anyone to become healthy. So then there was no looking back. I myself became vegan 13 years ago. And then I started helping all my patients of diabetes, particularly type 2 diabetes, to reverse it through the diet and lifestyle change. So now my approach is the diet and lifestyle, and if required, also remedies. But so I understand that many people are still not ready to change their diet and lifestyle right away. So many of them straight away ask for remedies. I do give them, and once their mind is open to
Sure.
listen to a better lifestyle suggestion, then I show them the way that you should also change and go on to the plant-based diet.
Okay, so now when you started, I mean, like you said, into this alternate path, how long were you convinced right up front, or did it take a bit of time till you started being like sure about this and you started seeing results?
Yeah. So, it's kind of very incredible journey. Right in the beginning, I had to literally unlearn all that I had learned in my medical college. That was the first one, because we were all the time told, oh, this disease is not curable. This is for life. This, you can't do anything about it. There is no other way. So as a doctor, I got a lot of garbage cases. I got the cases which went everywhere else. Usme kuch nahi hua. Then they all came to us to try. And they will ask me a questions. Ma'am, have you got any results? I said, no, you're the first one. I'll try it out. So they said,
So
all
it's like
right,
the
this is
last
what.
resort or the alternate resort.
That's right. So I got garbage cases basically. I would say very complicated with very big file, lots of medication. So actually,
God.
I learned everything hands-on. I learned by helping my patients, understanding, sitting, having dialogue. A good
Okay.
doctor is the one who listens to his patient. That was the first lesson I ever learned. I must connect to my patient and listen to him well. He's really coming to me for a reason. He has a story. He sometimes, listening well also helps a lot. So listening well was the step number one. And then taking down my notes and identifying the real issue. Sometimes the issues are at the emotional level, sometimes at the physical level, sometimes at the mind, sometimes in the lifestyle. So let's locate where the problem is and then help exactly accordingly. So step number two was to finding out the cause. Always you must know the cause. Without knowing the cause, if you treat, you are only doing patchwork. You're treating superficially. You're just treating symptomatically, because our body does not lie. Our body produces a disease, is actually a cry for help, is asking us, please help me. Every symptom, every pain in our body is our body's cry for help. And we can't take a painkiller and shut up. We say, all right, I'm listening. I'm sure there's something going on there. And yeah, I'll pay attention. And it always has a story, has a reason. All along, our body has tremendous healing power. It's always healing. There are so many transactions happening across the day, 24 hours. Every cell of our body is healing, is rejuvenating, it is regenerating. It's always functioning. Only when we make, big mistakes, big abuse, big troubles, then one fine day it just says, I give up. Now you have it. And then the disease actually happens. And when the disease happens, we have a duty to listen to our body.
So
Pay
now,
attention.
So correct. So how does one, and that's what you've now, you've cultivated that, let's say, the talent and the understanding that what correlates to what.
Right.
And so otherwise it's like pata nahi hoga, this pain is happening, but for what? And that's the whole
Yes.
thing. So how do you, how has that been addressed, and how do you help your patients with that, where they can also learn?
Absolutely. So there are two ways. There's one way is you becoming a very good mirror and listening to the patient, and usually they come and tell us the story. Why did you get diabetes? Oh, doctor, I was eating lots of junk food outside, no time to cook, and I'm eating this and that, and life is very disorganized. So I'll make a note of it and I'll show them healthier versions, though they are very busy. Or someone will come and say that, no, I suffered emotional shock. I lost my father very suddenly, and the next month I was diagnosed with diabetes. So I'll pay attention. All right, there's emotional shock, and then this disease has happened. So, linking it up, patient's story is always very important contribution. Sometimes there is suppression. Sometimes there is allopathic medicine itself, can also give another disease, right? The medicines heal something, actually not heal, suppress something and give you another, side effects as gift. So that is also sometimes I have to know. Like just yesterday, I had a patient who had a fall, then she took some painkiller and then she had diarrhea. And the son was very worried that maybe she has some COVID or some such infection. I said, no, 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 no. What medication did she take? She said she took this and this painkiller. Oh, I said, just stop that. That's the one that's giving her diarrhea. Just forget it and I'll give something natural for, healing injury and the pain, and then everything will be better. So today I just came to know now the digestive system is improving gradually, but the painkillers have to, you have to pay attention. So this is how listening to the patient, connecting it, making the dots connect properly.
So once you started doing this, okay, what has been your success rate, you think, when you combine now, holistic methods and understanding? So what do you think has been your success rate vis-a-vis somebody like a doctor say ye do pill le lo aur sab theek ho jayega?
Yeah. So, really looking at body holistically and helping a patient not just in the body, but also at emotional and mental level. So, a patient has to improve at all the three levels. I can't have a patient whose eczema on the skin gets better, but next month he comes up with asthma, because that means I have suppressed the toxins inside the body and now it has gone to the deeper organs and now he is having a bigger disease. And someday I give some remedies for asthma and he's going to come up with maybe some mental problem, say anxiety. So it's like the healing happens from the mind to the emotions to the body. So this is the sequence it should happen. You can't have a patient who gets better at one place but worse at the other places. The healing has to happen across the board in alignment, usually starts from the higher level. I usually ask my patients, how are you feeling mentally? Mentally, much better. In your body, a little bit better. I'd say, never mind, it's going in the right direction. Hang on. Just in some time, even your emotions will improve. And after some time, your body will improve. And then the disease leaves your body. This is the sequence. So the success came in by looking at various patients as a whole, listening to them properly, then giving them the appropriate, say, flower remedies to heal that particular disturbance. So, for example, negative thoughts, shock, lack of confidence, depression, some adjustment issues, some memory issues,
Okay.
some fears or phobias. Right now, I'm getting a lot of patients who are like panicked, very panicked. Moment something happens, they panic. Moment the mask drops off, for a minute, they think they're going to get it. So the fears, we're
Right, right.
treating them.
My God. So tell me, like, okay, like you said, so the mind is a big part. Like you said, if you go like top down, okay, that is also something like which in our journey, we've come across things like what's now called transcendental meditation and all these words where they do same, like deal with basically the mind. And they said use like still sort it out, take care of it from the root. And once the roots are fine, the fruit shall be fine too. So is there something like this that you combine all these understandings?
Absolutely. I will not be able to heal a patient just physically if I see that the cause is at the emotional level. So what happened in the beginning, I got many patients with a lot of physical illnesses, very different kinds. But I trained myself to always look at the higher counterpart
Okay.
because these are two sides of the coin. Every disease, every physical disease also has something happening at the higher level, and one must listen and then treat holistically. So for example, I have three different patients who complains of acidity. The patient number one says, doc, I have acidity, I eat a lot of hotel food and a lot of spicy food. The second patient says, doc, I have acidity, but I'm very anxious about, I have to go abroad and I have to, try for my visa. So it's the mind that's, giving the acidity. The third person will come and say that, oh, I have acidity. I think I am on some painkillers or some medication, and maybe that's the acidity because of that. Maybe another person will come and say that I get a lot of negative thoughts and now I have acidity. So now in allopathic system, we just have one antacids or one set of remedies for everybody. Whereas in our system, all four of them have a different reason. I will correct the reason with the natural remedies and dietary and lifestyle advices, and then show them a way by not having it again, not making them dependent on remedies. Allopathic will make you dependent. Ultimately, body heals, and it's just doing a time pass, giving you temporary support. What we are looking at is changing something at the higher level where it happened in the first place, and then the disease goes away. So initially, when I treated lots of these patients differently, I got results. And in our Western medicines, we are told, oh, rheumatoid arthritis, you cannot cure. Oh, psoriasis, you cannot cure. Migraine headaches, oh, no, you have to take a medication. So for so many diseases, we were told that, these are for life, or you have to take some medications. I could see that gradually, we could cut down their medication, reverse the diseases, and then they are off year after year. You see them. I've treated many children with asthma. So the doctors will say that, oh, when they are 14, 15, it will go away. And we would treat them just in few months. Everything is gone. All the medication, everything is gone. All allergies are gone. So the body does not lie, and body is all along trying to heal itself. And a disease develops because something has gone wrong. And let's know what has gone wrong, maybe at the immune system, maybe at the digestive system, and then correct it. Maybe something at the mind, correct it, and then reverse it. This is the correct way. So even right now, like, the whole world is after a vaccine or a drug. They
Uh-huh.
think there's going to be a miracle vaccine that's going to rescue all of us. That's not the way, because we are all individuals, we are all different. The virus is also very intelligent. Virus is mutating all the time. There are 11 mutations in India itself. So across the globe, there are many mutations. How are you going to make a vaccine? The virus will mutate. The virus is a lot more intelligent. It moment you come up with a vaccine, it will mutate again. So you are not going to chase the virus anymore. What you are going to do is to make your body unsuitable for virus. The virus is looking for a place to park, find the food. But if we do not give the food, then we do not get the infection. This is a better way. So developing our own immune system stronger is better than washing hands and trying to all the time eliminate the virus or a bacteria or a fungi, because there are billions of bacteria inside our body. There are billions of viruses on my skin alive. Our own DNA also has virus genetic code integrated sometimes. Some of the viruses are permanently integrated in our own DNA. They are coexisting with us. There is no separation. You and I cannot be separate from our environment. The air that I breathe is going to be outside and inside in no time. What is outside is going to become me. So we cannot be separated from our environment. We cannot be separated from the food that we eat, from the animals who live with us, from the billions of bacteria, or what we call it as microbiome, which is a part of us. We live with it. We have to learn actually to live in harmony with all this. If we disturb our environment, if we try to kill them, if we try to disturb the biodiversity, a virus like this is going to take birth and make a crossover and start harming us. This is the way of nature. And we have to wake up. First, number one, look after our own health. But you can't look after your own health unless you look after the soil you grow food on, the air that is polluted that you're going to breathe in, the water which is so contaminated with the pollutants, you're going to drink that. How can you be healthy? What is without is going to become a part of you, and there is no separation. So we have to clean up our act at both the levels. At also be kind to our environment, also be good to our own body. Both have to happen simultaneously. There is not going to be a miracle drug or a vaccine that's going to rescue. Last 25 years, we have seen so many such epidemics, even for HIV, everything. There is no miracle vaccine that has happened that can protect us. Neither we are going to have any miracle drug, because no two individuals are alike. We all are different. We all are going to react differently. It's a very complex operation. It's not a simple operation. It's not a linear operation. It's not like a Newtonian law that shoot at sight and it's gone. It's not going to go away like that. We have to look into this very complex, holistic picture and then take care of the health. This is what I inspire all my patients, that there is no a solution. You have to look at many different things and then take it together.
Amazing. Now, gosh, I would lots to take away. There's a quick question where you said with some of the patients like who have diabetes and reversals, have you had patients that diabetes has been totally reversed?
Yeah, so one of my patient who reversed diabetes about 12 years ago, and then he had diabetes 10 years, and then he reversed it 12 years ago, and he is still like free of diabetes. So every year he like sends me a message, all my reports normal, doctor, I still don't have diabetes. So that's just one example, and he goes on some 1 or 2 tablets. There are many patients who are on insulin, and we are able to stop their insulin completely. This is all cases of type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
Now, in the beginning, when we got results, like I was also very shocked. Oh my goodness, it's just the diet. I was so shocked because from our Western medicine, diabetes is a very big disease. It never gets cured. There's a rubber stamp. You have to take medication. Over the years, you only manage the disease. You only manage the complications of the disease. The number of drugs only increase. It's there in your family. And then finally you take insulin. And then maybe you will need dialysis or you lose your vision. This is all that I'd heard. When I helped initially some of my patients to reverse their diabetes, it was Dr. Neil Barnard's program that we made it into Indian style, Indianized basically. And we tried and we told them to eliminate all the animal products from their diet. So those who were already eating non-veg, we told them to go on a plant-based diet. Those who were already taking dairy products, for them, we told them to eliminate their dairy completely. And then on a plant-based diet, there was a very low fat, not much processed food, and a very simple like roti, sabji, dal, chawal. And within 3 weeks, I see one patient giving off his medication. The second one, third one, I was so overwhelmed. My goodness, it takes only 21 days for some people to stop the medication that they were taking maybe for 10 years. Then I understood it's the diet. It's really the wrong diet. And so last 13 years I've spent looking at the plant-based diet very, very closely. And then I understood there is something called as metabolic syndrome X, or just plain called metabolic syndrome. So here what happens, it's the high cholesterol, obesity, thyroid, type 2 diabetes, maybe PCOD, high triglycerides, all these are part of metabolic syndrome. And all of these, including the high blood pressure, can be helped with a plant-based diet very simply. And there is no big difference even in the diet. It's basically a whole food plant-based diet with a little bit of small changes when if it is diabetes or if it's a hypertension. But all of them reverse. All of them, we gradually cut down medication. Particularly, I learned that statins, the cholesterol lowering drugs are the number one drugs in the world, most prescribed drugs. So, the cholesterol levels are higher and this drug is artificially bringing it down. Now, what's the point? It's just giving you some idea that you are safe. You're not safe. It's just only bringing out a component. And actually, it's like shutting down your body's cry for help when the cholesterol starts rising. Because that means your diet is wrong, your lifestyle is wrong, and that's why this has happened. I have patients as young as 18 and 19 with obesity and type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes,
Wow.
thyroid, so young. I mean, we are, having much sicker generation now. Even children are suffering. So we have to start very early because prevention is step number one. But if we can't, at least reverse. So all my patients who come, I tell them when you want to do reversal, you have to be very strict because you have to get the disease out of your system. And number two, I'll show you the way for not ever inviting this guest again. Close the door and you don't want those diseases. So stay healthy for rest of your life and not have the same lifestyle diseases that your colleagues of your same age have it.